Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You are watching the Kaiser Report. And I'm John here with Kaiser to talk to you this Thanksgiving week about a few things that are Thanksgiving related. And the crazies are once again out now railing against having a Thanksgiving celebration with your family and the rules that they would like to put forward. You'll see some things here in Stupid Town today that are quite amazing when it comes to the fact that the rules that they want to put out are very oppressive in their own nature, but also a little on the crazy side when you stop and think about it. What happened to the family structure in this country, in the world, really, when you stop and think about the upset that's going on right now in Germany and over in England with the immigrant population trying to change society as it were. And take away the celebration of Christmas and Thanksgiving and any religious connotations that are not of their liking are already being put down. The Pilgrims landed here with a hope and a prayer. They came to our shores on Plymouth Rock and entered into a new world that had presented them with problems of feeding themselves, finding fresh water, finding out what animals existed in the forests as that they were trying to set up a new town or a new place to live and farm in this beautiful country that was a part of Britain at the time. They relied very heavily on the Native Americans to help them along with things that they did not understand about taking care or being stewards of this land. They had a rough go of it the first planting season and did not have a very good outcome, and the Indians then took hand and helped them realize that they could plant things such as corn and pumpkins and squash and vegetables that survived in unison with nature. They believed that if you planted 3 different crops together, that you would have a bountiful harvest. The turkeys and the chickens and things of that nature that were found in the wilds were hunted and brought to the table. In a monicum of thanking God, they invited the American Indians to the dinner table, and this is the beginning of the Thanksgiving meal. There's no more to it than that. Were atrocities taking place during that? No, because they got along with each other for the survival. They were all together thanking the Creator, God, for the bountiful harvest. The Native Americans were very religious in their own right in thinking that they needed to give thanks and offerings to the higher being above. This is where the peace pipe came from. They believed that their prayers would enter heaven or a place of adoration on the smoke that was risen from cooking fires, pipe smoking, and the like. There is no reason to rail against a holiday like Thanksgiving where we're supposed to all get together, both family and friends, and give thanks for the harvest that we have. Whether it's an increase in your paycheck, whether it's help through subsidies from the government, whether it's a promotion at work, whether it's a wedding in the family, a birth in the family, a baptism in the family, or a first communion for a family member. These are all things to give thanks for. And the thanks should go to our Lord and Creator, always. But yet we have a monicum of people in this society right now that have lost their way. They have lost their way to even converse with Christ any longer. The snares of the devil are everywhere today. You can look into your Congress. You could look down the street at someone committing crimes and realize that there is evil underway. Use Thanksgiving as your weapon to fight against and fight back against what is going on that is evil in this world today. Use Thanksgiving as a prayer conduit for your thoughts and prayers. The more people get together in the name of God, go to your churches, places of worship, synagogues, even the mosques, and in unity pray for peace across the world, things will happen. Ignoring the voice that's in the back of your mind that you think is your thoughts is how Christ will communicate with you. Listen. Be still this Thanksgiving. Be grateful for your family. Be grateful that we have this day and in this country the freedom to celebrate Thanksgiving. Watch the Thanksgiving Day parade, and if you're so inclined, tune into some of the football games. Do it as a family. Pray over the food that you're going to place on the table in unison. If you have somebody that disagrees so vehemently with you on your thoughts of giving praise to God and thanksgiving to God, then maybe that person needs help. Maybe you should be the one to explain that they need to quiet their mind, listen for the message that is Thanksgiving. The more thanks that you give, the more you will receive. So that'll take us into talking, enough talk about what Thanksgiving really is, and talk about you're going to be out shopping for your foods today and tomorrow. More than likely, some people wait till the last minute. I have done that and been guilty of that in the past. Still do it. Always think there's more time in life than there really is. But look around that grocery store today. Pay attention to what the person in front of you or in the next checkout aisle over is struggling with. People putting things back because the prices are a little bit too stiff. Or even if you're in line for a lunch on a drive-thru, be kind. Maybe the person behind you is struggling to pay for that meal. Occasionally, I will pay for the car behind me. Hopefully, they're not ordering a full-on Thanksgiving dinner, but even if they did, then they deserve it. Be kind this Thanksgiving. Be kind to those that rail against Thanksgiving. Be kind to those that have too many rules, as you'll see here in our Stupid Town segment today. We're going to go away from the political nonsense that's taken place in this country until after Thanksgiving. It is not conducive to our inner well-being to keep railing against things that we cannot change. Things that can only be changed by God Almighty. And through prayer, all things are possible. through true belief in life after death, and that he loves each and every one of us, even the people in the streets with the signs, with the pins, and all of the accoutrements that may look evil. There's a good heart in each and every one of these individuals. Please keep that in mind this Thanksgiving. Some of us will have relatives sitting at the table that do not agree with you, and that's fine too. We're each and every one of us entitled to our own opinions. So take that to heart and give thanks this year for all that we have in this country. And with that, we're going to take you into that exit to Stupid Town.
So my daughter-in-law emailed me a list for things we cannot say at our Thanksgiving table this year. Apparently the family has just been a little bit too verbal in the past years. Number 1, we cannot say, "Oh, look how big you've gotten," because that's offensive.
What?
The children apparently are not to be discussed in terms of size. Number 2, we cannot mention her pregnancy at all. No questions about, when are you due? No, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Absolutely no guessing games. They will find out at the birth. Number 3, do not say you look tired. It's shaming and emotionally unhelpful. Number 4, don't ask, are you hungry? Apparently that's policing. Number 5, you can't say kids. They prefer young, independent humans. Number 6, do not mention sleep schedules, nap times, screen time. Those are trigger topics. Number 7, do not ask what grade the children are in. Those are school labels and they're oppressive. Number 8, do not bring up politics, religion, football, the weather, or anything with an opinion. So I followed it up with she'll be receiving a cease and desist before her rules trigger my inner.
Oh, wow, guys. Now that was out of control. What would you do? I'm sure she wants to see her grandkids, but the mother is out of control. Would you guys abide by these rules? Or would you just say, you know what, it's not worth it? Let me know what you would do in the comments section below. Happy Thanksgiving. There are the people who love getting together for Thanksgiving and breaking bread with family and loved ones and reflecting on everything that they are grateful for. And then there are the people in this video.
Just a reminder that Thanksgiving is the celebration of a and by celebrating, whether it's Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, you're further perpetuating that colonialism is okay and accepted.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but someday this holiday that a lot of us celebrate, not me anymore, but I once did, will no longer be a thing. I know that's like blows people's minds to hear, or maybe it makes some people happy to hear that. But yeah, someday this won't be a thing, and the idea of celebrating a holiday that is founded on and land will just be seen and viewed as completely 100% absurd.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
I don't celebrate Thanksgiving because I don't celebrate the colonizers' holiday. And I haven't in a very, very, very long time. Just because they don't know their history doesn't mean that I don't know their history. Thanksgiving is simply a celebration of religious indoctrination and mental colonization. It's a celebration of that. No, thank you. I can break bread anytime with anyone and not celebrate the colonizer. Okay.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't.
This next lady wants to make sure that there is no pumpkin pie on your Thanksgiving table.
I'm gonna need y'all to be careful with how y'all celebrate, because pumpkins really indicate how they took the heads and put lights inside of them, just like how they'll do a jack-o'-lantern. So be careful how you celebrate these devilish holidays. I'm telling y'all, pumpkins are a symbol of what they did to our people, indigenous people, brown-skinned people. They put fire inside of their and lit it and hung it from trees. So do your research. The only thing I like up out of the pumpkin, and I ain't gonna tell no story, the only thing I like out of the pumpkin is the seeds to bake them myself. They better than the seeds you buy in the store because they very salty. With these seeds, you can just, you control your salt. But other than that, this ain't nothing but the devil's work. Don't do it.
Right.
And of course, what she said wasn't true. According to the History Channel, the name jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. Irish immigrants brought the tradition to America, home of the pumpkin, but originally in Ireland, they were using large turnips instead of pumpkins.
And to all my American babies, I hope y'all are out there having a nice day with your friends and family, eating some good food, and appreciating and being thankful for everything that you have around you. However, just like I say every time, it's Canadian Thanksgiving as well, please take a moment to understand and educate yourself and make yourself aware of what this day signifies and represents for Native American and Indigenous people. For so many, today is a painful reminder of cultural colonialism, social injustices, pillaging of villages and people, systemic racism, discrimination, that of which continues to this day. So I just want to make everybody very aware. Please take your time, do some research, and understand the actual factual history of Indigenous people within the country that you live. Recognize and respect whose land that you are on. I do know in Canada, as each Thanksgiving passes, I see more and more Canadians speaking out, educating themselves on the truth, becoming actual allies, and supporting the Indigenous community in every way they can, and it is so amazing to see. But I'm not sure if it's as heavily of a discussed topic in America. Looking back at the horrific past the treatment Native Americans went through at the hands of the white man, I just think it's something that gets swept under the rug a lot. And as I always say, when I'm discussing Indigenous issues, especially at Thanksgiving, it's not to make you feel like, it's not to say get up from your dinner and leave because you are a piece of. That's not the point. Change starts with awareness. When we know better, we do better. It is not our fault our ancestors did what they did. It is not our fault what has happened in the past, but what is our responsibility is to make sure that never happens again. And
don't worry, it doesn't have to happen again because we won.
to make sure that we are consistently working towards a more equal, inclusive future, and that includes making space for Indigenous people on the land in which we.
Okay, then why don't you have somebody up in your house that's Indigenous? Why aren't you making room in your apartment?
Okay, to paraphrase a tweet I saw earlier, instead of wallowing in our guilt, what we can do is actually support Indigenous-owned businesses, book Indigenous artists, buy from Indigenous people, pay Indigenous people, support Indigenous organizations, get involved, be a real ally, speak out on Indigenous issues. There's so many things we can do to be progressive and proactive. A day of celebration should be a day of celebration for everybody, and that's just not the case. We need to understand why that is, and that starts with us reviewing our history, taking accountability, and understanding how we can move forward from this, how we can work towards reconciliation and reparation.
Stop it. Get some help.
The one thing that we're not going to do is do what the Biden administration did and tell the American people they don't know how they feel. They are traumatized, and over the Biden inflation, we have slowed inflation, and we are working very hard to bring it down.
Yes!
Kristen, I can tell you that the Council on Economic Advisors has a study. You know the best way to bring your inflation rate down? Move from a blue state to a red state. Oops. Blue state inflation is 0.5% higher, and that is because they don't deregulate, they keep prices up, energy is higher.
Wow,
That is brutal.
I hope you enjoyed that, and we wish you all a great rest of this Tuesday, the 25th of November, approaching a wonderful Thanksgiving Day this Thursday. And until tomorrow, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more information. Happy Thanksgiving week. Bye-bye now. May God bless you all.
Thank you.